Welcome everyone. My name is Danny Ross, and I'm going to be your host today for the AI Lunch and Learn. And for everyone who was on last week, we're just simply picking up from where we left off. What'll be fun about this is if you've missed any of our previous classes, you can easily catch right back up. Let's go into my channel here. And so you can see where our channel is. And every week we post a new video. Last week's video is 7/1/26. We can go up there and kind of check it out. And hopefully everybody on the call can hear me. If you have any audio issues, put a one in the chat, or if you can't see me in the corner here, just let me know and we'll make sure of that. Feel free to go ahead and put any questions you have in the chat. We just want to make sure that this kind of goes smoothly here. One of the things I've learned about our friend Zoom is that every now and again we have unexpected audio issues. If you can hear me, put a one in the chat. That way I'll make sure everybody can hear me. If you can drop a one in the chat, I would appreciate it. Hello, can you hear me? I've actually started these sessions and then have someone say to me, "Hey, I couldn't hear you." Put a one in the chat if it will allow you. If not, raise your hand. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Thank you very much. Alrighty, so let's keep going. As I was saying in the section here, you can go and watch previous week's video. And like I said, we're going to pick right up from that. So I'm not going to spend too much time kind of reviewing the same thing. Oh, also, if this is your first session in AI Lunch and Learn, please go ahead and drop a one in the chat as well. That kind of helps me calculate and see where everybody is. These are the things that we went over last week. Basically, we were talking about using ChatGPT to help build a AI team that's going to help you with your marketing. We wanted to build out a sales development representative, AI sales development rep, and we kind of walked through what the standard operating procedures need to be. And now we're on the section, we're going to continue on with sections 4 and 5, building out, a lead nurturer on autopilot. And so I'm going to actually show you two different versions of this so that you can kind of incorporate whichever version best works for you and your team. In this scenario, what we're going to do is reaching out to people who are not necessarily, you're actually going out looking for new prospects, new customers. And the number one thing you just need to be aware of is you need to meet them where they are. They may not be actually thinking about you or your products or services at the moment that you reach out to them. You have to start off slowly and build trust. You have to deal with whatever stated objections or unstated objections they may have in their minds even before they meet you. And there's a couple of different ways you can do that. First of all, of course, the content of your outreach, but even probably more importantly, the content of the landing page that they come to from your outreach. And because you need to have all of their questions answered by the time they get to the bottom of the page, the way to do that, of course, is to have effective content as they scroll, but just as importantly, have the answers for them that they have in the FAQ section. And every page should have an FAQ section that's relevant only to the content above. That way they're getting their answers handled. And just as importantly, last week we built out and I showed you how to create a chatbot AI agent that can handle their Q&A as well. So there's multiple ways that you can make sure you're answering all of their questions. And then, of course, you want to lead it to a specific call to action. In this case, we were talking about an appointment request, but call to action could be just as importantly an actual purchase on the website, either of your services, your products, consulting, whatever it is that you're offering as an organization. But you can use any of the above. Let's keep going on here. So education, trust, proof, time, all of those things need to be directly answered on your website. And certainly you can kind of do these also over a period of time. This is where that email campaign comes into effect. Most people use email for this. Number one, it's free. Number two, there are fewer rules, even though there are spam rules, things that you should and should never do. It is a little bit more forgiving in email so that you can get those things out. Of course, getting it to the top of their inbox, not getting put into spam, not getting put into promotions. These are all goals of your email campaign, and that's why a slow approach a lot of times is more effective than just a big old email blast. Okay. And then the same thing when you're doing your lead nurturing, we're looking at all of the things that we just talked about in kind of a sequence here. But the key success metrics are the email open rate, the click-through rate, meaning they're clicking on the links in the email. Do they reply to the email? Do they make requests? And of course, revenue. Those are the obvious ones. And then when we talk about building your AI lead nurturer, one of the things you want to do is clearly define the mission, what it's supposed to do and what it's not supposed to do. The knowledge base, we talked about knowledge base last week when we were building out the chatbot. And so that same knowledge base can be used to train the AI lead nurturer, your standard operating procedure, your success metrics, and of course the master prompt. We're going to use a couple of tools to kind of get us through this next step here. So building the knowledge base, we already talked about this enough last week, and I won't spend time on it, but these are the key elements that you want to feed into this next AI bot. One of the great things about it, of course, is once you build your knowledge base, you can share it with all your new AI employees as you go along. Okay? So the idea is, hey, touch one, welcome and deliver value. I talk about delivering value a lot, and it's important. On that first time you reach out to them or the first time they visit your website, they should immediately get some sort of value, whether it's the AI quiz that we talked about last week that delivers them fun content and answers to whatever that quiz is about that is meaningful. Again, meaningful being the important word. And it can be on any topic, doesn't have to be an educational topic. If you're a law firm, teaching them about the law related to something specific, and not so much teaching them the law, excuse me, but teaching them how your services can help them with that aspect of the law. And by doing the quiz, you can get some sort of information out of them that will assist them in the path, even if it's just developing a definition of their problem. That's the idea. So whatever their particular issues are when they visit your sales funnel, your website, you want to give them some value associated with your services because that's the reason why they're there. Ultimately, your outreach touched them in some way, made them curious, and then they've come here to see what else and learn more. So you want to deliver some value immediately so that they go, hey, this person is going to give me something, so I should give them a few minutes of my time to learn a little bit more. Education, again, how do you become the trusted expert or authority? Share some success, handle objections in the fourth touch. So think of these as an email. This is a 5 email structured sequence. So you can deal with questions and things like that. So let's say that your business is providing marketing services, for example. And people are like, well, I tried Google and it didn't work. So you can proactively, based on all the things that you've taught ChatGPT and got that pain journal we've talked about previously. You have them on their worst day and then on their best day after they've used your services, and use that tool after you do the interview, you build a business brief, you build a product brief, use that tool to give you the objections that are most likely for your target prospects and audience. And therefore now you can build your FAQs to immediately, proactively answer their questions even before they actually say them. And then, of course, touch 5 is to go ahead, after you've established some trust, go ahead and ask them for an appointment, a purchase, etc. If we were to say we're going to use different tools for this, and I'll start off with a real simple one. This one, we're going to have our buddy ChatGPT build out a simple sequence for us for our 5-touch marketing campaign here. Let's bring over our friend. It's funny, I've been doing some testing today. He's running a little bit slow today, so that's okay. We'll play around with it. Hopefully it'll work. If not, I've already got some of these pre-answered. It's like a cooking show. We can kind of work within, where we are. Let's see. I should be in the Digital Express one. Let's see. Let's do a new thread, then I can share the thread with you guys. All right, cool. These are our chats. Okay, I don't want to create a new one actually. But yeah, these are the old ones. Okay, good, good. Sorry about that. Just want to make sure I'm in the right spot for you. And ready to dive in. Yes, I am. Let's roll. All right, so we're going to basically paste in that prompt, and let me go back to the prompt so you kind of understand it a little bit. This new feature of forward and backward arrows is a little distracting. So you have your AI lead nurturing specialist. We're asking it, hey, our mission is to get people from where they're just visiting to ready to buy. And we're going to create a 5 email sequence, 3 SMSs, some FAQs, so all of these wonderful things that we're going to need. And we're going to use that as part of this sequence. And then for every message, include a subject, a goal, body, call to action, psychological triggers used, recommended CRM tags. We'll get to the CRM part of this in a little bit later, but I did mention it's an important tool for keeping track. And then if we're going to use Leadbiz.ai, the workflow trigger. And then same thing, we want to measure the success rates. The whole point of marketing is to have something that's measurable and meaningful. All right, I did a pretty good job. It did respond relatively quickly. All right, so actually, let me make this go away. Let's make this much bigger so you guys can read it. Sorry about that. There we go, much better. All right, so AI lead nurturing campaign for Digital Express AI, core campaign goal, take people from curious to appointment ready. That's what we just walked through, so I won't go through it again. And then we've asked the AI to give us some idea of best time to send it. Tuesday at 9 a.m. Mondays, people are pretty busy. Friday, people have checked out. So Tuesday is a popular marketing time. What's the psychological triggers that we're going to use? All of these things. And here's the beauty of AI. You don't have to know what any of this means. You just need to ask the AI based on everything that you built, that it knows about you, to help you with all of these terms and technologies that you don't have to know anything about it to actually use. Then it's giving you these actual emails that we'll send based on what it knows about me and the business and the types of things that we are wanting to do. That's email one. So the goal was to educate the prospect. Now it's going into email two, and the goal is to show the cost of week follow-up. Again, pain points that you learned about your prospects are all included in this. And then it's walking through when to send it. You're telling the AI send it 2 days if there's no response to email number one. And then the whole idea is this is the subject line. And then so people are seeing these emails flow into their inbox. They may not have paid attention to emails 1, 2, 3, and 4, but hopefully they're at least acknowledging that they're coming in. So when they finally get to email number 5, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is the same company that's been reaching out to me consistently. I've been meaning to respond, that kind of thing. You want to give them multiple opportunities to respond to your outreach. This is email number 3. Teach a simple framework and then attract, nurture, and convert. The idea is to give a little bit more value. So here's a little education. You do not need 25 AI tools to grow your business. And then talking about how the system will help them build it out. And then the fourth one is a trust email. AI should feel like your business, should make your business feel more human, not less. Reduce the fear. That's the goal. And AI will take business and make it feel robotic. Best time to send Wednesday. It's picking random daily times of the week, and using that on the theory that if they didn't see it on Tuesday, maybe they'll see it on Wednesday, that kind of thing. And so they're walking through the different ways. And then the call to action is book a free AI growth review. And then the final one is direct appointment invitation. Now we're getting right down to it. want to see where AI could help your business first, right to the point, and then give them an idea of how AI can specifically help them in their businesses. And then you can do some SMS. Again, be very, very careful with this. They should only get a text message if they've opted in somewhere, either via your lead funnel page or specifically in your email that they've opted in for SMS. Don't just send them one out of the blue. Okay? It's really, really important. Then they're doing the three sequence on the SMS, FAQs. These should be on your website. And so it's giving you everything you need from a marketing point of view, including the five or so FAQs. Make sure you have that. And then it's going to go from there and grow up from there. I'm going to give you this whole thread so you have it. And I'm going to give you the whole deck as well. So you have that. Okay. So these are the objections they may have. I don't have the money. And so it's writing an email. This is also training your AI and what happens when they say, hey, I can't do this. I'm just going to give you all this stuff. I'm not going to walk through all of these. I think the real important thing is to make sure that you guys are seeing all of the steps that are involved in this. Okay. So now that we've kind of gotten that part of it out of the way, so let's take a look at the recommended Leadbiz workflow structure. For that, before I do that, I'm going to go right back in here to the deck. So that's where this is. Well, this is the AI lead nurture workflow, lead capture, tag applied, and this is where next session we'll get into the CRMs. There's a lot of CRMs you can use. I'll show you one or two, and then you can kind of make your own decision on which one you like. Email sequencing, SMS sequencing, and scorecards. So each stage is triggered automatically so that you as a human being don't have to be involved in the day-to-day stuff. You want to be able to use the AI so that it is doing all of these things. So these are kind of the lead structures. I'm going to show you two versions of this today. The important part is the sequencing. It's the Drive AI workflow that we've talked about multiple times. But we're talking now about the actual appoint setter. I'm going to start with the Leadbiz version, just so you have it. And again, this appointment AI, its goal is, it's not to sell, quote unquote. It is selling, but you don't want it to sound too salesy. It is applying pressure to prospects into a call to action, but it doesn't want to sound too much like a full-blown, hard-hitting sales pitch. It doesn't replace humans as far as the actual need to have that human interaction at the end. But what it does do is work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to get you to that conversation and conversion. And it deals with qualifying all of the cold and uninterested leads. It identifies warm prospects, presents a compelling appointment strategy, shares the calendar link for you automatically, especially if you use Google. That's the format that I show first. And can you use it with others? Absolutely. But for me, Google is the easiest to integrate and pretty cost effective. And then the core principle, all right, not to close deals, but it is to get prospects warmed up for you. All right, so define your appointment offer. So what is the actual reason for that the customer is going to want to do business with you? So you have to make that very, very clear why you want to have 10, 15 minutes or half hour with them. Spell out the outcome. When they get to the end, we're going to be giving you this 30-minute session. Ask the right booking questions, that type of thing, so that when they come to the meeting, they're prepared. It's not so much a homework assignment, but it is at least if you can capture the key essentials of their pain points right away, then you can come more prepared to the 30-minute call. It's sufficient for you and for them, by the way. So you want to make sure that happens. And then same thing with setting up the SOP for this, because again, the way AI works is you have to give it clear directions of what it can do, can't do, all of those things. And then if you have that SOP in place, you can automate it. That's the beauty of actually having a thought out process, is that you can automate it. That's the whole goal of all of this, is not to have human interaction at these lower levels where an AI can definitely handle it. Okay. So you can run this prompt, and the purpose of this prompt really is, again, a generic AI. It can be Perplexity, it can be Claude, it can be any of the above. I'll just drop it in here quickly and I'll tell it instead of these blank boxes, so you can tell it to generate this stuff. Use the info in this project. This is the advantage of creating a project. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago to define my mission, business, etc. for the fields. I have to sit here and actually manually do this. Might as well let my AI buddy handle it for me. And same thing with, we're telling it we want to create an invitation email and we're going to lay this all out, timing, subject, body. But you can run this same prompt and have the ChatGPT do this part of it. But really, I'm going to go and create this in Leadbiz so that it can actually do this part for me as well. I'm just showing you how you can do it in a generic AI tool and or we can go right to the next step because we've already kind of laid this out. So if you're going to run it in an AI tool, there's a go. And now we're going to actually go into the Leadbiz and run it in the Leadbiz appointment workflow. So these are the things that we're running. We're giving it all of the information. And then we're going to go here to see, this is the sequence, website visitor. It hits the AI lead nurturer. So it's going to do that next. Have a lead score of at least 8. That triggers the next step. Has the invitation been sent? Strategy booking session, Saturday session booked, meeting completed, proposal to customer. That's really what we're going to do all the way through this. Let's go back here now. Let me bring up our other buddy. I'm going to start with this one. And I was playing around with this earlier, so I'll show you what I have here. I'm going to go back up here. So I can kind of walk through this for you. Yep. Okay, cool. And I'm going to take this instruction set and I'm going to feed it into the Leadbiz. Here we go. And let me also get this. I'm going to create a Word doc for you guys, our PDF that you can use. Let me do that quickly. Okay, cool. So we're going to use this document. I'm going to give you this actual document so you have it all. If you're using Leadbiz, the goals are laid out, mission and goal. And so in Leadbiz, just like in ChatGPT, you're going to use a prompt and you're going to build this prompt so that it understands what its mission is. You would feed it documents. Here's the information about Digital Express and so on. This is the information that we're going to feed to that's this Leadbiz. Leadbiz is exactly what we're talking about. It's an AI version of a lead nurturer. And what's fun about Leadbiz.ai is it doesn't have any monthly cost. The only cost is when it actually does something for you. Let me show you the homepage. Basically, it is for reaching out to people using either email or SMS. And so there's the FAQs on it and how it works and all that fun stuff. What I love about it is that it doesn't cost anything if you don't use it. Once you get all of the things set up in it, you can send 2 types of emails. One, batch emails, which are very similar to what you would do in any email system. You just send the same email to everybody, and that has an open success rate, X. And then if you use what we call personalized AI, where every email is different subtly so that it doesn't get caught in the spam filter, it gets sent out over time. So it's a slow drip kind of methodology. Those types of things do way, much better, much better. And so you're going to get higher open rates and click-throughs and all of those things. I've been hitting, if it's an email to my customer base, I've hit as high as 30% versus, 3, 4, 5% open rates, things like that. Measurable difference by using personalized email. And the way the AI works is it will send each email with a little bit subtle difference. So, and it over time can personalize its information in each one. You can give it three or four different topics to include in its email sequence, of course, but then it is going to customize each one so it's a little bit different as it goes out to your database of email users. Very effective way to improve immediately. And then because it's an AI, it has the ability to reply, to deal with the replies that you do get and give meaningful answers to those people because it's trained on your knowledge base, your standard operating procedures. It understands its job as an AI and it can handle those first two, three steps. I had a fun example that I give with the Leadbiz where I did an email outreach to my existing customers asking them, how am I doing? And if they responded positively, I would then ask them, would they be interested in a 30-minute consultation? So first you have the AI reach out. It gives back the answer that, yes, I'm happy. Then it sends out another email, says, would you be interested? And then based on that response, it would give them a calendar link. And then from the calendar link, if they said, yes, I'm interested, it would include it in that link would be three or four times. They can pick a time. And then, of course, that's automatically added to your calendar. They get a response with a calendar invite. So all of that is handled automatically. That's the purpose of this, to build that. And if they say no, then it escalates it to me instead. So then I can go investigate as to why they're unhappy. Okay. So that's the power of something like Leadbiz. Okay. So let's say we were in here. So this last one, this is actually, I did this a long time ago. I haven't used it recently because I've been playing around with so many other things, but this is really cool. This is what I meant by 38% open rate. This is what you want. This is the type of response, call to actions, things that you want to deal with. That's a lot of fun when you get that high a rate. All right, so let's go into creating a new goal. And we're just going to create a SMART goal. Like I said, you can either do a broadcast, which is that first one, or you can do a SMART goal, which is where it actually goes back and forth for you automatically. So the sender, the calendar, you can link it directly to your Google Calendar. And then, is it going to allow new conversations and so on? So the description can be AI lunch and learn. All right. And then your target list, you can pick the list that you want to use. You have different leads, lists, and things like that. So I'm going to just do this one and save the changes. And then you have your whole AI targeting, and then you can tell it everything else that you want to include. So this is the goal that we're going to create. And so this is pretty simple, nothing complicated. So this is the SMART goal that we're just about to do. And then in here, you can say, okay, I'm going to track all of these things. I'm going to have this list. And these are really, really simple. And you can kind of see, I can go back to goals. So then I have my AI Lunch and Learn goal here. And then we're going to go ahead and just create it in here. I think everybody kind of understands this part so far. This is pretty straightforward. And so then we have our description, and this is where you can actually create this whole sequence of events. What's the success criteria? I just wanted to kind of show you one that I already did to show you the idea. Has the description, never miss another lead again, primary campaign goal, the target audience, exactly what you want, who you're going to target, what's the core problem you're going to solve, what's the key messaging, desired outcome, and what's the call to action. All of these are clearly defined for the AI. What's the tone and messaging style? Now, here's something that's important with an AI like this is tell it when to stop. Stop after 3 attempts. Stop after 5 attempts. You can, by the way, give it examples of the emails that you want it to use. And I highly recommend that because you just had ChatGPT create that 5 email sequence. I would put that in here as well in the description. I would tell it, you would simply tell it, here are 5 examples of what I want you to work with. And it's not going to send those exact emails, but because you're building a sequence, we're going to tell it stop after 5. In this case, because we have a 5 email sequence. So we can go back to our builder here. I'm going to leave this alone. I'm not going to use this one because, like I said, I'm wanting, instead of using ChatGPT or a generic one, I'm actually going to use this. So these are the field goals prompt. So this is the prompt that I came up with. And then we have our descriptions. These are reminders and all the stuff that we just went over. I won't go back over it again, but you can see the various emails and things that we're going to use in this sequence. And again, you can take all of this and feed it to our buddy, our Leadbiz AI, and give it these and say, here's the objections, here's everything else. All of this will be included in the education that you give a friend. So just remember that. You can feed it all of this stuff. It'll just ingest it, and it has the SOP description. I love the fact that you have everything you need in ChatGPT to feed to the next AI. So one AI is educating another AI on all of the things that I want you to do. So remember, this is your lead campaign. This is your 5-step email. Each email is an example that you can give it and say, use these only as education on what I would like to see and build off of. And so now it's got the 5 email sequence. It's got the education on what your business is all about. If this is the first time you're using it for this purpose, it's always good to remind it if you're doing a second or third campaign. And then you would run all of this through the AI. And then all you need to do at that point is turn it loose. Now, how much does this cost? Again, this prompt here is the prompt that I was just mentioning and we just went over. And then I would feed it the SOPs, the standard, all the knowledge-based stuff. I'd feed it the 5 emails, the FAQs, put all of that into this one prompt area for the goal. Okay. So one of the questions I get a lot is how much does this cost? And so we can come down here and take a look. And so the way that it works is you create a wallet. First, you configure email settings. And if you guys need help with that, just let me know. Then you feed in a wallet. It could be just a simple credit card. And then you can do integrations. So this one is integrated with Stripe. It's integrated with my Google Calendar. It's integrated with one of the CRMs that I use. There's a lot of CRMs that I use for different things. And then you can also, by the way, now you can also build it into, if you build an AI app, you can build this sequencer in. You can also build it into things like Go High Level, which is a CRM and marketing system, but you can use all of these things together. And by the way, in your wallet, it does tell you exactly what things cost. You have regular emails and you have AI emails. And as you those up, auto charge, yeah, you can set it to automatically recharge as you go through, so you never have to worry about it. So by the way, you can also have multiple people doing this. This is the configuration screen. It's been a while since I've set this up. Anyway, so the way it works is it is literally like 4 cents an email for the AI emails, which are the most expensive. And then the other ones are less than a penny a piece for you to send the batch emails. So it's very cost effective as well. I love it from that perspective because if you're saying, I'm going to send out a custom personalized email for 4 cents a piece, that is reasonable on your budget, and it does allow you to essentially make sure that you are doing this. Yeah, so again, so if you send out, these are some test emails that I did, and you see it costs 16 cents for that. Let's see, March, April. Do I have anything in April? I haven't played with this version of it. I have multiple versions of this, by the way. This is the one I used for the demo class. This is the last time I did this subject in my demo class. It's going forward in time. That's hilarious. I don't have anything to show you here, but again, I can show you my real one as well that I use every day for business. Let's see if I can find that one. Give me a second here so you can kind of see the real numbers on some of this stuff. I love when I use examples and then I get off track. This is another one. I have lead falcon. I have another one here. Let's see if I can find you. This is more of a real one that I do use. This one kind of shows a little bit more. So it shows This one's got 3,000 contacts. This one's got an even higher open rate. Let's see in the settings if I've set up the wallet for tracking. When did I last use this one? Same issue, Danny. Too many toys. Too many toys. But anyway, I think you guys get the point. It's 4 cents per email when you're using it under the A leads point of view. So that's really the idea. And if I go into our other one here, let's go back now that we've kind of talked about this. So again, the whole point is to walk through this and then get out the other end. So KPIs and success. So let's go ahead and talk about Wix Studio. This is another one that I use as a platform for AI agents. And just to kind of walk through this one, it's the same thing. You're going to use ChatGPT to build all of the information for your AI employee. But this time we're going to use Wix Studio agents instead. And it's nice to build these into a different AI. So now these Wix AI team have actual names and so on, and you can call it whatever you want, but they have names. And so one is specifically, to just kind of build trust with customers until they're, so this is going to be, it's going to be focused on targeting and the lead nurturing, same thing, 5 email, 3 reminder emails, 3 SMS. So we're going to walk through that quickly. And then if we look at the step-by-step, we can do it through a couple different ways. The website chat, so you can build an agent that handles your chat, contact forms and emails, and then building in appointment request systems. And then here's the prompt, similar prompt that what we were looking at for Leadbiz, your Digital Express AI front desk agent. Your job is to answer customer questions. So this is for the chatbot. Always do. Escalate when complex technical questions arise, prospect requires human judgment, contractor pricing discussions begin. So the idea is the lead download, you're going to give it some sort of value. Tag is applied in the CRM system, which is built right into Wix Studio. That's one of the reasons why we like it. It's kind of like a combination of things. It's a website hosting company, website platform where I build a lot of websites, and then it also has some of these CRM functionality. It has some of these SMS. So I invite a lot of my customers to let me build them website systems in here. And now they've introduced these AI agents, which I think are fun. So again, generate leads, improve follow-up, productivity, increase revenue. And so on the booking page, we're going to set up within the Wix Studio, we're going to build out these things. So you're going to have a website URL that's unique. This is one of the things I teach my customers. Never have your outreach emails and things go to your homepage. That's a bad strategy. You want them to land on a specific page that you create that is only focused on a specific topic, such as why they responded to your email. So you don't want to have them go to your homepage. They'll get there eventually, but what you want them to do, always land on a sales funnel page or a landing page where you can control the dialogue only of the things that they're coming there to see and only answer their FAQs and all that. So this is the secret of success for this type of stuff. So you're the appointment setter agent, so this is your goal, turn qualified prospects into AI strategy sessions, always answer questions, reduce friction, so on and so forth. And then so the website visitor, Juno engages, prospect is qualified, a booking page confirmation is sent for the email. So and here's what success looks like. All right, so ChatGPT is going to create all of the agent missions and personas, the knowledge base based on what you've taught it, the full nurture sequence, and then Wix Studio is going to handle it by using Clio for the lead nurturing, Juno for the first front desk engagement, Omni for workflow management, the booking system for scheduling, and of course the CRM to keep track of everything. And so if we go through this, we'll talk about some of the other things. These are some of the other CRM systems, Go High Level, Salesforce, Microsoft, Copilot, Zoho, all of the other tools that are out there. All right, so let's go back into our document and I will show you what that looks like for our next step, which is Wix Studio. All right, hold on. Let me find that sequence with Wix Studio. Just a minute. Hmm. I have it right here. There we go. That's Leadbiz. That's the one we just went over. And then we have the next one, which is Wix Studio. I prepped all of these so they'd be easy to find. Knowledge base, document, and that's Leadbiz. Okay, so these and one more. Sorry, there we go. All right, so Wix Studio. I'll bring this one over for you guys. All right, so Wix Studio, same thing. We're going to open up our Wix AI agents, and then we're going to use Clio for the nurturing campaign. So you're going to give it this prompt. So I'm going to give you this whole section in that document that I just talked about, in the Word doc that I just created. I'm going to give you the whole sequence. And so now you have the Wix agents. So let's bring that over. Give me one more second, folks. All right, cool. And so bring this over. So in here, you have various Wix agents. So you have your marketing agents, your personal assistants, your front desk agent. All right. I don't think I've even set up Juno. Yeah, so there's Juno. You have a custom agent, which is Omni, phone agent, and a Wix Smart Chat. So these are all agents with different personalities that are targeting your specific things that you want to do. So there's your front desk agent, which is effectively a chat bot that sits on your website. And it already knows, based on other things that you've done, what types of things it may be involved in, but it's also going to allow you to set this up. So I'm just setting it up from the beginning. By the way, while I do that, does anyone have any questions? I realize I haven't been asking for questions. So you have recommended actions, suggested replies, highlights, and insights. And so these are where so we can get insights for a contact. We can give it inbox direct communication, or it can generate that. It can highlights and insights. So these are all the things that you can actually build into it. So you do want to build out the database for this as we go along. So this is where you're going to set up the settings for it. And this will be the actual chatbot that'll be living on your website. So in the settings, you can go ahead and connect other channels like I was mentioning, your email, Facebook, and so on. So this is your front desk agent settings, and it's going to generate based on your website first, and then you're going to add other ways for it to communicate. Then under the knowledge base, this is where it's going to pull things from your website, and then you're going to give it guidelines that it is well educated on what you want it to do. So this is what we were talking about before, where you're going to walk through all of these steps with it and make sure it completely understands what your goals are. So in this case, we're going to use Clio for the nurturing campaign, and here's the prompt for Clio. So I'm going to give you all of this. Here's the prompt for Juno. That's your front desk manager agent. That's going to act as Digital Express AI's front desk and lead engagement specialist. And then we're going to use Omni for follow-up, and we're going to use Wix Studio for that. While that's running and prepping up, I'm going to also give you this whole section. Let's go all the way down here and get all of this. Hold on. I'm going to drop all of this into and this is why it's great to work with chat, because it's doing all of the intermediary things at the same time. All right, so this is the lead section 5 for Leadbiz, and now I'm gonna give you oops, go back up. There we go. I'll give you the same thing for Wix Studio. So you're gonna get both versions. All right, cool. So let's save this down now. So we'll create this for week 5 prompts in this sequence anyway. So I'm going to save it. Save. And AI Lunch and Learn. So we'll call this week 5 prompts. And I'll leave it as a a Word doc so that you can easily use it. And let me throw that into the chat. Da, 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 da. There we go. And we've got so many things going on. AI Lunch and Learn, week 5 prompts. And I'll send that to you right now. And then I'll also give you an update on this Gamma deck, so you have that as well. I like to make sure we give everybody copy the share link. All right, so you guys got an update now. Some of you already had this link, but it's been updated since last week. Okay, cool. You have both. All right, so let's see where our front desk agent is. Oh, it's still generating. Oh, there we go. This is where we can set the tone and voice. This is what we were just talking about. What's nice is if you don't use ChatGPT, this still can help you build it because it's feeding the same thing. So it's actually going to do both. It has direct messaging and then it has email. And so you can build that in, and then you have the knowledge base. And so we can go in here, and these are the emails, and it's giving the tone and warm and balanced, but still professional and all that fun stuff. And then the knowledge base, it said it couldn't build. Let's see if we refresh, if we can build it this time. There we go. This is the knowledge base. Training and rules. This is where we're talking about. We can add knowledge, physical. This is not a physical store location. Obviously, you tell it this, and then write all in info the AI should know about this topic. And so this is exactly where we're going to go here. And by the way, you can do it a couple different ways. You can either do it step by step by step, or you can just upload a PDF. And so whatever the topic is, you just upload a PDF, and this is where that standardized knowledge base would come from. As a matter of fact, you can feed this to our buddy. This is what I love about AI. All right, I can go back and say, okay, here is the format I need to use for Wix Studio AI and Juno. Give me back topics, responses, and PDFs. Since it knows all about me, I don't even have to create the topics. I don't even have to create the actual responses. I can just do this for me. Oh, yeah, well, oh, that was my fault. Oh man, user error. Here is the format. By the way, you can also just give it a link to the URL, but to be simple, yeah, there we go. User error and easily corrected. And so now it has the format. All right, so title, knowledge base rule, and supported PDF upload for the knowledge base. Here's the topics that it's recommending. I don't want to generate 18 separate PDFs in one response. I recommend doing it. Yeah, so that makes sense. All right, so let's go ahead and build the first 3. By the way, you can make it do the 18 different versions. You just tell it to use the Deep Think version. Let's build the first 3 and 1 PDF to support. So this is where you just need to work with your AI buddy, let it know what you want to do. The knowledge rule 1 about Digital Express AI. And so you could feed it exactly this information for your front desk. And then I can create a PDF. And by the way, the PDF can answer all of those questions. So that's what it was showing you. You can create one PDF. You don't have to upload a PDF for each one. And so you can create this rule, applies site-wide or a specific page. I like that as well. And so it's creating that first training route. And by using a single PDF for all of your knowledge base entries, that saves a lot of time. There's no reason for it to relearn it over and over again. You can go on to rule number 2, rule number 3. I think you guys get the idea. So this would set it up so now that when visitors come to the website, we activate the Juno activate the Clio, activate all of these different agents that have specific tasks, then they're going to be able to answer questions for you. They're going to be able to do outreach emails for you. They're going to be able to deal with the replies that come from those emails. And so this is really what you're talking about. And so every time somebody comes to your website, speaks to your chatbot will interact with them. And as you go along, you can see the responses that it has. Hopefully, everybody kind of sees how this flows. Any questions? And again, this is all you can build these in any platform. I'm just showing you two platforms that will allow you to do the same type of process or step by step. Any questions on this? All righty. Thank you guys. And I'll jump through. Yeah, the next one's going to be building out proposals. If you guys do that, it's going to be building out CRM systems and how CRMs work. We're going to continue on with section 6 and 7 and talk about some automations. I already showed you the CRM system in Wix Studio. I'll show you some of the stuff you can do with Go High Level if you like that one. The point of the AI exercise is just how AI can help you in any of these platforms. All right, everyone. You guys have a great week, and I am out of here as soon as I find the button. All right, everyone. Have a good one. Bye bye.